Hello, hello. We're live now. We're live. Uh, we'll just spend the next 5 minutes waiting for others to join us. Just put it in the comments. Okay. So I'm going to get started, and it's going to be a quick one. Hello, everybody. You're welcome to this live stream, and you're welcome to this live stream. And we're going to be talking about something very important. So I see 6 people already watching here live. I can see the Leaders Empire Model School, Mr. Sonny eBay. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight's conversation. And please confirm that you can hear me. And I'm going to get started. I want to make sure that I'm recording. So then we get started. Good evening, Eagle and Stars International School. We're live. We're live. Please join. We're live. Uh, Let me just alert everybody else. I didn't know that we're live. So that's the link. Okay, already alert people so that they can join. Please, can you hear my sound? Thank you, Mr. Sonibe. Said I can hear your sound very clear. Okay, all right. We're going to be sharing my screen now and want to talk about this template that I have here. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about this particular template that I have here. Okay. And what we're going to be talking about here is budget, expenses, and expenditure. We're going to be talking about that, and we will spend as little time as possible, but I will explain it in details. Then I will leave the video where that we can watch the replay. Happy resumption to every one of us as we have resumed the school. And we'll be talking about this document that I have on my screen. Uh, Basically, school, from my experience working with schools, schools struggle with this particular aspect. And you find school owners who would like to maximize their income struggle with this particular aspect. You would find school says we are not making money, and the reason is because we are not tracking how our income is doing, how we are performing income wise. Okay, and that's why I designed this particular Excel for us to be able to address that. Okay, we're going to just talk about it. I'm going to explain. Now, why do we need us to get our income right? Why do we need us to get our income right? It's very, very important because you can be able to trace where your money is going, and you can be able to account for everything that is going and coming out of your pocket. Now, it's very important because if you can know how money flows, then you can know, okay, this is how to improve on my budget. This is how to improve my income and all of that, basically. Because the major reason why schools lose money is because there's no way we track what's coming in, what's going out, what's coming in, what's going out. To be able to have an idea of how much is being spent running this school. And one way to do it, once you do it well, it will help you to be able to budget and know where you are at financial wise and how you can grow from there. So, if you're wondering, how do I do this? How do I track what's going on? It will take a bit of diligence from you and your team to be able to sit down, but I've automated it in such a way that it can help you and you can see the build up. And we're going to see the demonstration of this in this webinar today because it's very important that every term, as we are resuming, we are creating a budget for our term. So if it's not in the practice of you creating, okay, what am I going to spend this term? I want to show you how to make that easy for yourself. So despite what you might be thinking, it's not really complicated. It's very simple, and I'm going to make it as simple as possible so that you can, after this, you have access to download this file and use it for yourself. And all we are just going to be doing is we're going to be looking at some things that make up our income for the school. What are the things that makes up our income? And textbook, notebooks, school bus, and the like school fees, extracurricular activities. What are the things that makes up our income, and what are the things that also makes up our expenditure? What are the things we spend on every term? Building and construction, repairs, toiletries, first aid, rent, examination. What are those things? Then how much do we have that we are saving? All right. And any other expected expenses that we might have. We're going to have a real life scenario here. And also, we're going to just how do we track our day-to-day spend in our school, starting from today? How do we track our day-to-day spend? So at the end of the term, we have a roll-up of how much we have spent so far this term. You see it yourself. And if you can follow me diligently, you will know that this process will help you tremendously. It's going to really help you tremendously. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get started. And like I said, we're recording the video. Others can watch when they come online. All right. So this file here, it's what we're going to be explaining. And the file instructions is pretty simple. It said all cells in yellow color automatically update. Please do not touch. All cells that turns green means your calculation is correct and checked. All cells that turns red means calculation needs to be checked. And all cells in white means you need to manually input numbers or text. So what this is saying is this is an Excel that's going to help you plan what is going on in your school. So firstly, this Excel document is divided into pages, one into sheets, one, two, three, four, five different sheets. And I'm going to go through what each one of these sheets does for your school. Okay. The first sheet is what I call the expense sheet. If you can see my screen, the expense sheet. The expense sheets, if you can see my screen. And this you can have access to it on your computer. If you are using Google Excel, it makes it easy for you. So you will see that there is a simple, very simple table that is drawn out here. A very simple table. If you're following me, before I get in, if you're following what I'm saying, that you need to track your expenses, your budget, your expenditure, so that you can be able to plan for the growth of your school, can you please say I in the comments? All right. If you support this this notion, all right. Can you say hi in the comments? Let me see that you're following that. I need to get my expenditure and my expenses and budget right. Okay. Let me see. Okay, nice, nice. I can see for the people that are here, I can see I in the comment. Okay, good. Thank you so much. All right, for participating. Thank you. So it is important to get our finances right. One of my strong points, okay, apart from apart from consulting for school owners, I also consult for multinational organizations on costs, the costs of running a project. So for people that don't know me, I don't only work with schools, I also work with organizations talking about their business cost. How do they grow in marketing? And how do they manage their business cost to make sure that they are tracking every spend? Okay. So what I'm about to explain to you has been used to manage multi-billion dollar projects. So it's not just schools, but it's a format that has been streamlined down even for schools. So I developed that for your school, and I hope you use it because the value of this is much more. Okay. So, like I said, if you're running a school, you want to know exactly what you're spending on a daily basis, every day, how much is going out in your school every day. So, if you can put it in the comments, what are the things you spend money on regularly in your school on a daily basis? Can you put it in the comment? What are the things you spend money on regularly in your school on a daily basis? What are the things you spend money on regularly in your school on a daily basis? Can you please put it in the comments on a daily basis? The things that those small things, they don't look so much, but you spend money on them every day. Somebody will come and ask you for money on them every day. What are the things you spend money on? Okay. Okay. All right. What are the things you spend money on a daily basis in your school? Can you let me know in the comments? All right. Waiting for you. Good. Fuel. Thank you so much. Fuel. Yeah, that's a big one. Fuel. All right. Airtime. That's good. That's good. I like that. Thank you so much. Airtime. You spend money on that on a daily basis in your school. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Data, fuel, airtime. All right. So how do you use this Excel to track? It's pretty simple. The first thing is I developed what I call an expense code for everything you spend money on. So if you come to this side of these documents, okay, I'm going to explain it bit by bit. If you come to this side of these documents, I know a lot of people, when it comes to maths, when it comes to numbers, they're like, hey, man, but I'm going to make this as simple as possible in explanation. So if I come to this side of the document, as I've expanded it, you will see something that is called expense code. It means we are trying to give a code for everything we spend money on in the school. So I'm going to take this uh, data away. Let me just put it somewhere. So we're going to build that list together now. And from our discussion just now, what do we spend money on? Somebody said fuel. So for everything we spend money on, we are going to attach it to a code. I call it an expense code. There's going to be a code for everything we spend money on. So we try to group them together and say fuel. Fuel can be fuel for gen. Maybe we want to put fuel for generator. In some other schools, they can have what we call fuel for buses or transports. However we want to put that. So we said fuel. Okay, somebody said toiletries. So I'm going to put it toiletries. You can customize for your school. So this is just an example. Toiletries. We put it, that's code 30. Toiletries. Okay. Somebody said data, airtime. All right. Okay. So spend money on data and airtime. Good. Okay. If you can separate it, you can put it together. All right. Somebody said detergent is under toiletries, so we can put that together. Somebody said dispenser water. Okay. All right. I'm going to put that. So let's take from the list of what I have here. I have stationaries. These are consistent things schools spend money on. Stationaries. We have spend money on tax. You know, when we pay our taxes. We spend money on repairs, school repairs. We put that as code 80. We spend money on examination expenses. Okay, you can still give me, I'm still checking the comments if I see any other new one. Any other, what are the things we spend money on? Help me here, please. What are the other things we spend money on? You can put it in the comment because I'm checking the comment as I'm also doing this. We spend money on drug and first aid, you know. First aid. When somebody comes to, we have visitors, we have people that come, we spend money on refreshments, right? Refreshments of visitor. We spend money on, somebody said transportation. I don't know if I put that. Transportation, like maybe somebody's going, a teacher is going somewhere for on behalf of the school, give them money. We spend money on building and construction. Okay. Yeah. Spend money on that. All right. So we spend money on let me see if I have more examples. Banner, adverts. So maybe we can say advertisements or advertisement material. Materials. We spend money on that. Okay. So our first line of work is to put a code very close to everything we spend money on. Okay. As you're seeing here, we put a code where we attach everything we're spending money on, we attach it to a code. I try to just create code 10 to 180. Okay, that's how this Excel file works. So I created code 10 to 180. So we know that, and you will see why we are putting this in this particular table. It's very important to first fill this table up. Fill this table up with the group of expenses, and it's better you group those expenses. It's always better. This is going to really help you track everything you're spending on your school. Okay, so we have been able to write some things down. Well, it's going to be a collaborative class, so I will be asking for your help as we go on. All right, so I want to make sure that everybody has access. So you'll be helping as we go on. Fantastic. All right. So advertisement material. Another thing we didn't put there is that we spend money paying salary. Salary, you can't forget that. Let me put it in capital letters. Salary. Every month You spend money, place an expense. It's an expense. You spend money paying salaries, all right? Uh, Rents. You spend money paying rent. These are big, big ones. Okay, we have two more spaces to go. What can we put there again? Spend money on different things. So now that you have written down all the things we spend money on, it is that's the beginning, that's the first step. So the next thing is that in these documents here, remember the instruction says all cells in yellow automatically update. Please do not touch. So remember, this cell that is in yellow is the code. You don't need to touch. Just put all the keywords of the thing you spend money on. All right. It's very important. In fact, I will advise everybody knows those details. Somebody put it in the chat now that laboratory equipment. Laboratory equipment. Okay. Laboratory equipment. So now we just have that. If I can get one more. NEPA bill. Okay. NEPA bill. All right. NEPA bill. Okay. All right. That's very good. So yeah, we have exhausted all our boxes because it works only from 10 box 10 to 180. That's how I've designed this Excel. Okay. To work from box 10 to 180. So NEPA bill, all the things to spend money on. Fantastic. Very good. So now we come this sheet. Once you fill it up, once you fill up the rights, the next thing is to now come down to your daily expense tracker, and you understand why we're doing this as we go on. Okay. Somebody said instructional materials. I put that as stationaries. So instructional materials, stationaries, almost the same family. Always learn to group those things together. Just group it together so you don't have unnecessarily long lists. You can group it together. Okay. So the next thing is then this is your daily expense record, as you can see on my screen. Let me make this a bit bigger. So this is your daily expense record. We have filled all the boxes here. So the next thing is capturing our daily expenses every day. I'm going to try to delete everything I have here. Just delete it to this place. Let me delete everything I have here. You can manage this on your phone. You can access this document anywhere. Okay, there's a Google document that I designed specifically for the purpose. The next thing is I also delete all my expense code here so that this place you see NA means non-applicable. There's nothing here. Let me delete all the names. Let me delete all the amounts. Okay, all right. So we're going to randomly begin this exercise. All right, we're going to begin this exercise together. Now that we have identified everything we spend money on, can you put in the comments? All right, if you look at this, I'm going to do a screenshot. If you look at these boxes, remember we have an expense code for everything we spend money on. Remember, we have a code for everything we spend money on. So this term so far, you resumed 15 September. And let's say on that 15th September, you bought fuel for generator. So here, I'll put my expense code. I'll put 10. Once I put 10, it's going to populate here, purpose of the money. Oh, it's fuel for generator automatically. So the person only needs to fill this place. Here, populate automatically. Who collected fuel for generator? Bayo did. Adenunga. You can use Trust Fund Day or however the case may be. How much was collected for that? 42,000 to buy fuel. Maybe for the next 1 week, 42,000 naira. So money approved by Whoever approved the money, you can fill it, you might leave it, it depends on you. But the major thing is making sure that every code matches what money is spent on. That is why, that is the purpose of this code. It's very, very important. That's the purpose of the code. Every code matches what money is spent on. So right here, you'll see another column that says expenses so far. It means how much have we spent so far. So you see here, it puts 42,000 naira from top to bottom because that's what we've spent so far. What's the total amount we've spent so far? 42,000 naira. This place is green because the cell here must be equal to the cell here. So we have spent 42,000 naira so far. The next day, that same 15th of September, again, we took money to buy data and airtime. What's the code for data and airtime? If I look at it here on the right, data and airtime is 40, code 40. Once I put 40, it populates here, data and airtime. Who took that money? Ifeanyi took the money. Ifeanyi Jason, let me just use any name, took the money. How much for data and airtime? 10,000 naira. Okay. Automatically it updates. Now the expense so far has moved from that to 52,000. So every amount that you are entering. So I'm just going to populate a list. If you can give me an idea of how much, just pick something here. If you are here, pick something, pick one of the expenses here. Anything, pick any code. Just look at this code. If you are watching the screen now, look at this code right now. If you are watching the screen, look at the code, pick a code and put an amount of what you have spent. We have people on the live stream now. Pick a code and put an amount so far of what you have spent. Just look so far and say, oh, on instructional materials, I've spent this amount. For you, just pick a code. I want to use it, and we just pick a name. Okay, so let's do that. Pick a code, pick a name, and we're going to put it there. Okay, just help me out here. Just put it in the chat. Pick a code, pick a name. So I'm going to do another one, which is stationaries. Stationaries. For me, just look at the screen, pick something, pick a code. 70, that's tax. I've spent so amount 70 on tax so far. Drug and first aid, 100. I've spent so amount. So just pick a code. I will then work from there. Okay. So I'm going to pick another one which I want to talk about, which is stationary. So I can say on stationaries for myself, which is code 60, Bola Jifowowe. How much stationaries? It brought it out to me. Once I put the code, it brings it out. For stationaries, we have spent 40,000 so far. All right. When did we spend that? We spent that. I spent that on 16th. Okay. So far on that, I pick another code and say refreshment. So everybody must have access to this code. Whoever is collecting money, maybe in your reception or in your office, they must have access. Like when we spend so amounts, all right, when we spend this amount, everybody knows the code to go and pick to put it in the expense tracker to be able to track it. Okay, pretty a simple system of making sure that everything is made easy to process. Okay, I paid NEPA bill. The code for NEPA bill is 180. I put 180 here. It says NEPA bill, and there's a reason why we are tagging everything to this code. So I will say Gabriel. Let me just be using name. Paid NEPA bill. How much did we pay for NEPA bill? 60,000. Okay. When did we do that? On 16. On 16 again, we bought laboratory equipment. Laboratory equipment is 170. Who bought it? Usman. Usman bought it. How much did we buy for laboratory equipment? 120,000. Give you an example. Okay. On 17th September, transportation that we have spent so far. Go and buy this, go and buy that. That's code 120. I put it here. How much have we spent on transportation so far? 30,000. Sorry, 30,000. Put the amount here. Then who collected? Who are the people we have given money for transportation? Bolu. So now I'm populating my expenses. I do this every day throughout the term. It's very important. I'm hearing the details. Now, what's the advantage of this? The advantage of this is as I'm doing these expenses, you see this expenses so far column is beginning to add up the total amount I've spent so far. So you see that so far, even without me pressing any calculator, I've already spent from here 302,000 naira. So if I scroll down to the total, it will always show me the total I have spent so far. So I can go into my expense. If it's been updated right, I can see that as at this date, this is the amount I've spent so far. Because any amount you are putting here is automatically adding it up, adding it up, adding it up. By the end of the term, you are already seeing how much you have spent so far. Do we get the point I just explained there? Do we get the point I just explained there? Pretty straightforward for tracking your expenses. Very straightforward. Okay? Very straightforward. If you are following me, can you let me know in the comments? If you're following me, can you let me know in the comments? Can you let me know if you are following, to know that if this is not pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I don't want it to be too complicated, but I want it to be detailed and automated in such a way that you can know by a stretch, oh, this is how much you have spent so far. Okay. Okay, somebody's Sonny Bay said got you so clear. Okay. Any other person? All right. Thank you, Mrs. Olufunmilayo. I'm following. Well understood. Okay, got you so clear. Okay, thank you so much. Very simple. Remember the boxes in yellow you don't fill, it automatically generates. The first thing, attach a code to every of your expenses. Attach a code to every of your expenses. Once you do that, on the code, let everybody know that you can even print it. You can print it out on a page. Draw the table out. When you go and buy fuel, this is the code. You put it in the expense. 10 automatically get the name of that. So you don't want people type. It's very important. Box in a very structured way. People typing code. We don't want people typing for 10. One can type for 10, they are those for rights. Or make a mistake and say someone can say fuel for gen today and say fuel for generator tomorrow. It will become an issue when you're trying to sort them out. But when you put them in a code, 10 is always 10, 20 is always 20, 30 is always 30. You know what I mean? 40 is always 40. So if anybody put 40, automatically the Excel will populate what that 40 means. You just need to know, what did I collect money for? 40. Okay, good. You put it 40, pam, it generates it, and it's adding all your money so at the end of the first week, if they're updating this very well, you can know how much you have spent so far. You can know, this is how much you have spent so far at a stretch. 302,000 as so date. And you see this sheet here, I can use to filter. This sheet here, I can use it to filter to say, I want to know how much I've spent on fuel. So I can come here and just click this filter and I say clear and I select fuel for generator. Okay. It will show me that fuel for generator I've spent 42,000. It will bring all the fuel for generator out and give me the total of what I've spent so far. If I just want to know how much I've spent on one thing. All right. But if I want to know everything at the stretch, I will just select all. It brings everything together. So Excel is very good in helping you manage those things very well. Okay. Now, when we are building this, something is happening. All right. Something is happening when we are building this. Something begins to happen. All right. As we are entering all our data here, Examination expenses. How much did you say we have spent so far on examination expenses? Um, Stationary. Have we spent anything? No. No. Okay. As we are entering all this data here, okay, this sheet here is what we populate at the end of your term on how much you have spent so far. So I'll give an example. All right. On this sheet is going to be long. In fact, it's designed to have 1,000 cells that you can fill because it's going to be long as you are putting data. So this is designed to grow into like 1,000 cells. You might not be able to exhaust it in a term, but you can keep filling. Okay, it's designed to have 1,000 cells. Okay. So you can keep filling. One moment, please. Okay, sorry for that. I had to respond to somebody who needed the link. Okay, so pretty simple, pretty straightforward, very clear, very simple. Now, let's say we have filled all these things. In Excel, there's a function that is called filter. Each of these things you are seeing, you can filter. I'm still going to have this training again during the term, just to make sure that we are updating because it's a detailed way to maintain your financial records. So I can decide to say, I can click on this filter to say, I want to know all the money I spent on 15th of September. If I click on 15th of September, I clear and I just click 15th September. I say, okay, it will show me all the money I spent on that 15th. I come here again, I can clear that and I press OK. I can press OK, it will show me the table. If I want to know all the money I spent on fuel, like I mentioned before, so we're going to do that traction. So now, if you have filled all these things every day from the beginning of your term to the end of your term, you have been filling this thing diligently. This list will be very long and very detailed. You have everything each day for all the 12 weeks or 13 weeks of the term. Every expenses, who collected what, guided by the code will have been filled out. So we can then go one after the other to say, fuel for generator, this fuel for generator 10. Let me start with it. So I can go to the code and say, how much did I spend on code 10, fuel for generator? I will go to my filter, expense code, and click on just 10. Okay. I will just click on 10. So most of the time, I'll clear, select 10, I'll clear all, just select 10 and press OK. It will show me that for fuel for generator, the list will be longer than this. But for fuel for generator, I'll spend 42,000. Once I click on this 42,000 here, or I highlight all the money that I've spent, I'll just take this 42,000, go into the expenditure, go into the next sheet, that's fuel for generator, and put 42,000. Now I'm building how much I've spent in a term. I'm building the profile of that now. I go back again to my expenses and click on my next code. I'll unclick this, click on 40. What's 40? Data and airtime. How much have I spent on data and airtime? 10,000. Go to my next sheet. Data and airtime is already here. Whatever you fill in that code automatically populate here. So data and airtime is 10,000. I'm building something up. Okay. Go back again. This work. How much have I spent on what's the next code? I've done 10, I've done 40, 60, code 60. Let me unclick 40. Okay. Stationaries. I've spent 40,000 on stationaries. I go here. Where's stationaries? 60 stationaries. I spent 40,000. Okay. How much have I spent on my next code? 120 that I have here. Okay. Transportation. I've spent 30,000 on transportation. Okay. Go to my transportation and put 30,000. I go again, trying as much as possible to be very clear. I go again to select the next code that I've worked up 170. Let me select 120 that I've put so far. But you will not be seeing one like this. You will see a list. A list will just come out of all the laboratory equipment, how much I've spent on it that time. Okay, that's code 170. Laboratory equipment, I've spent 120,000. I go to my next sheet, laboratory equipment, 120,000. Okay. I put that in, it populates. Then what code again? I think we've done 120, 180. I click on it. Okay. NEPA bill 60,000. How much have I paid on NEPA bill? Where's my NEPA bill? 180. What was that code? 180. Yes, I just look for 180. Let me it should populate automatically. So I don't know why it didn't populate. Yeah, NEPA bill. Good. So on NEPA bill, I've spent 60,000 on NEPA bill. 60,000. Okay. So you will notice something that as I'm putting all this data here, you see that the total, this is the total amount so far. He said he put it in red. And why he's putting it in red is that all the expense I have entered here so far, everything I've entered here so far, select all, okay. All the expenses I've entered here so far, I said all the total expense I've spent is 302,000. But here, I'm saying it's 772,000. There is a mistake. I purposely planted a mistake here so that we get this point. So you see that once your answer here is not totaling your expense here, it's going to show red. And what's the mistake? The simple mistake is examination expenses. We had no code. If you look here, we had no 90. We didn't enter anything for examination expenses. So, and there's 400,000 here. So if I take out this 400,000 here, it gives 372,000. There's still something that should not be there because the total is 302,000. So I look at it. What else? Refreshments. Okay, do I have anything on refreshments so far? What's code for refreshments? Refreshment is 110. Do I have any 110 so far? I don't have any 110 so far. So that might have been a mistake. So if I take this 110 away, okay, taking the 110 away is 252,000. I've still not captured something. So it's very important that when you are gathering all your expenses at the end of the term, you are making sure that you can either filter by cost code, by expense code, or filter by purpose of money collected. Anyone, you can use it to trace it to say, oh, for generator. So just as a check, I can say, okay, for my generator, let me clear all. Data and airtime. How much did I say I spent on data and airtime? 10,000. Have I captured my data and airtime here? So I look for data and airtime. 10,000. That's correct. Oh, good. How much have I spent on fuel for generator? Let me remove. I've said I've spent 42,000 on fuel for generator. Let me go here. fell for generator, 42,000. That's correct. What's the next one? I've done data and time. Laboratory equipment. How much have I spent? 120,000. Have I put my 120,000 here? Laboratory equipment. One number is laboratory equipment. 170, so it should be down. Laboratory equipment. I'm here to put my 120,000. 120,000. Good. All right. So the next one is, I've done data and time. The next one is my NEPA bill. My NEPA bill. 60,000. Have I put my 60,000 for my NEPA bill? Yes. Okay. Next one after NEPA bill is stationaries. How much for stationaries? 92,000. Did I put that? Stationaries. What's the code for stationaries? 60. So 60 stationary is 92,000. Okay, it's 92,000. This is 920. 92,000. Okay, good. All right. Transportation. I think we'll put something on transportation. 30,000 on my transportation. What number is transportation? 120. How much? 30,000 on my transportation. So that's how I do my check to make sure that, oh, everything has been captured here. Okay. Let me clear everything off. Select all. Okay. So with this, I begin to have an idea of how much I've spent on each one of it. Each one of it. How much have I spent on Gen? The total so far is being populated here. And this is used at the end of the term to be able to balance up and calculate to say, okay, data and airtime, this amount I've spent so far. Dispenser water, this amount I've spent so far. Stationaries, this amount I've spent so far. And I do that check. Now, this 424,000 still says here that because the answer here should be equal to our total expenses, 302,000. So I'm still curious on what I've put here that I should not have put. 42,000, 10,000, 40,000, 60,000, 120,000, 30,000. Okay, 40,000, 10,000. Dispenser water, 70,000. Did we capture that in dispenser water? No, we didn't capture dispenser water. So let me take this 70,000 out. All right, good. We are getting close. Stationaries. I said 92,000. I come and look at my stationaries. My stationaries here is 40,000. So it's not 92,000. So I go, my stationaries 40,000. Good. So now that I have all my answers matching everything I said I've spent here so far, now that I have all those things matching, this cell turns green. It shows that my expenditure is correct. Expenditure so far for this term is correct. I've captured my expenditure. And once I've captured my expenditure right, you see automatically it populates, everything populates here to begin to calculate, oh, this is the amounts that I've spent so far for expenditure automatically. But where do I bring my income? Is inside this particular sheet also that I bring my income, where I talk about, oh, outstanding school fees I had last term. I had 5 million outstanding. Okay, 5 million outstanding is too much. Let me say I had 300,000 outstanding. Okay. So far, do we get it? Because when it comes to math, when it comes to calculation, I know a lot of people don't like it, but this is, unfortunately, this is the work we have to do to get our expenses on track. I'm still going to do this training over and over again. I'm going to record a shorter video again to guide on how to use this expenditure and budget tracker. It's very important for your soul. Very, 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 very important. Okay, this is just the beginning phase. We are still going to have more clarity. But the first thing you will see, the first good thing you will see is that you see that you are building up your expenses for the term. So we can always, like at the beginning of this term now, what I would like you to do is, if you don't have a budget for your term, is very important. Build up all these expenses, be building up. If you don't have a budget yet, if you don't have a expenditure yet, you don't know how much you spend in your school, you don't, we're going to do it together. But the first thing you have to do is start building up this expense. Just start. Assignment for today: create a code, create a keyword for every of the expenses, batch them together. All right, put them in this. I'm going to share this document with you. And every day, for every money spent so far, open your laptop, open your computer, and enter what the code is, how much you spent. What the code is, how much you spent. Automatically, you will see it build up. This activity that I just did now is for at the end of the term. We now want to group everything together to say, how much did we spend for fuel? How much did we spend for transport? How much did we spend for toiletries? We will now gather it together. And if we have done our calculation right, this place will be green. If it's wrong, this place will be red. It makes you recalculate, go and check it again. You are not adding everything. Now, once that is well done, the next thing is to also track your income. All right, to know how much do you have in, because this is what you call your plan. This particular one, you are looking at your plan, all right, to say how much actually came in school fees. How much do I have outside? 300,000. How much is coming in school fees? Oh, 7 million. Give you an example. Some schools have more, some schools has less. 7 million. Okay, I put 70. 7 million naira. 7 million naira. How much is coming in notebook sales? 350,000 naira. This one you have to have done your calculation to be able to put this number. How much is coming in uniform sales? Or how much came in uniform sales? 60,000 naira. Okay, let me put an higher amount. 200,000 naira. Okay, that's how much came in uniform sales. Textbook sales, how much gain? How much is coming in? You know, textbook sales. We're having another 150,000 naira coming in textbook sales. Okay, I might put in extra zeros. School bus, how much do I make from payment of school bus and all of that? Another 1 million from school bus payments. Okay, and other expenses that I did not capture, other income, sorry, that I did not capture. You list all your incomes here. So automatically, once you list all the incomes that you have here, it calculates for you like, oh, you are expecting 9 million this term. Okay, 9 million is coming in this term. 302,000 is what you have spent so far this term. So every time as you are entering that data, there's a calculation going on here. You see 9 million income minus 302,000 cash at hand. Maybe what's the cash you have in your school right now? Maybe we are cash at hand in the school. We have 50,000 naira cash, at least for anything we want to spend. Cash at bank. And cash at bank, we have 1 million naira in our bank. Just give an example. We have 1 million. I have 1 million in our bank. Internal outstanding. Are you on any loan? You put it. We are servicing 700,000 naira loan. 700,000 naira loan. Okay. Maybe it is an internal loan, friends and family or whatever. External loan, maybe bank. You have 2 million with bank. Or let me say you don't have any loan with bank. Good. So then it begins to calculate. This begins to help you calculate, okay, what will be your profit? What will be your potential profit by the end of the term? So that's how this is. This math here, I'm trying to just make sure that all the cells are working pretty okay. So I'm going to verify this number here to make sure that all the cells are working pretty fine. So what it's basically doing is just taking out. It's taking out Yeah, it's not capturing something here. Yeah, it's taking out your expenses from your expenditure. That's what it's taking out here. So let me just do the formula again here. This exactly minus this. Yeah, good. So I just fixed that right there. So it's saying, oh, if you take out all your expenditure from your income, this is the amount you have, right? Then we are now looking at all the what are all the money we are spending so far. This is the cash we have at bank. This is the internal outstanding, profit and loss. I also have to fix this cell here. Okay, just give me a moment. So I'm fixing that. Give me a moment. Because when I have this training, I can be able to see, oh, this is where the issue is. So I can say this plus your cash at hand plus your cash in bank. Exactly. Exactly. So I can be able to calculate that minus, what's the minus in? Minus your internal outstanding and your external outstanding will give you what your profit should be. Okay, just be patient with me. Just making sure all the cells are working right. This is your internal outstanding minus your internal outstanding and this your external outstanding box here. It should give me an answer now. Okay, I'll fix that. But what it's going to give now is what should be the profit or loss that you have in your account. Basically, that's what this is going to give you. That's what the answer is going to give you. I'll fix that, and that will be up. I'm still going to record a short video. But the crux of it is before we get to this point, all right, you can just come to this page and put all the income you will have, just be putting it here, and all the expenses that you have, be entering on a daily basis, and automatically we'll begin to calculate, oh, everything is correct, is right, and we're going to do, oh, this minus this to be able to give us, to be able to know, oh, are we going to have a gain or are we going to have a loss? Okay, that's, I'm going to fix this before I send this over to everybody. Now, with that in place, you're already planning your income, your expenditure, your expenses, and everything. You're already planning that. Just pretty simple, like that. I hope I've not lost anyone because this is a whole lot. I don't want to say it. So, what are we going on with today? Pretty simple. Just take this and be busy with these sheets. Just these sheets. This one. All right. Start putting your expenses here. And also put your expected income here. Once you get this sheet, start working on it. I'm going to ask the questions. Oh, is anybody working on this? Are you working on this? Do you have an account person that can work on it? You have somebody. This is not hard. If you have a laptop and you watch the video, I'll be recording once I send it over by weekend. You watch those videos, you can do it yourself. Okay, because there will be a what do you call it? There will be a training video that will come alongside this document. So once you have the access to the video, open the video. It's going to be short, 5 to 10 minutes long, and watch. Just watch. This is how to do this. This is how to do this. This is how to do this. This is how to do this, and you can begin to use it. At the end of the term, we're going to have something that is being populated here. But I don't want to explain all this tab. We're going to be having everything we have put in will be populated in these sheets, and all these sheets, that all these other sheets that you have here, where we begin to compare. You see all the thing we are entering, it will start populating here. It will start populating here, where we can be able to compare. Okay, this is the income we said we are going to generate. This is the expenses that we generated. Everything will populate, and you can be able to compare that. Oh, this is what I budgeted. This is what I spent, and this is the result. Oh, I budgeted 9 million, but actually got this amount back. I budgeted this amount, but this is the amount I got back. But I will explain this on a later date. But for now, the major focus now that as the school has resumed, the first thing is let's begin to build our expense, create our expense code, and begin to build our expense. And on this particular tab, let's begin to write all the money we're expecting to come as income. Because once we write that, the next thing is by the end of the term, we'll generate what our expenditure is and we'll be able to know what our profit or loss is. Okay? Pretty simple. So I'll pause there for now because this is accounting. It's cost accounting that we are looking at for our school to be able to maintain profitability, because at times you're making money but you are spending so much, the money you're making is not even showing. And at times you are not making so much losses, you don't even know how much loss you are making to be able to say this is the number of students I need to attract to grow my school. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pause here. I'm going to send this document. How many of you are going to at least start from sheet 1 and begin to enter your expense, and also sheet 2, all the income you should be expecting in your school? If you can do it, I'm going to stop here and then we'll continue on a later date after I send all the details of everything that you should have. Okay? Any question? I don't want to be past 1 hour. Any question? I know it's a lot. It's a lot of numbers, but that's why I started from the expense expense code. Code your expenses and begin to enter your expense, because we're going to use it, all right, to calculate how much profitability we add at the end of the term. Okay. Any questions? Okay. All right. In the absence of any question, will get back to the group where I'll continue my write up on this, and I will then attach the videos to each of those write up for each of the days. This new week is you're gonna see the videos drop with the link to download this, and you have access. And you might have questions that you begin to apply. If you decide to apply, you might have questions from there. All right. Thank you so much. See you in the Inner Circle group, and have a great night.